The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Luna buzzed with activity. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead astrophysicist, stared at her holographic display in disbelief. The anomaly she'd been tracking for weeks had resolved into an unmistakable pattern. An alien fleet was approaching Earth. "This is it," she whispered, her heart racing. "We're not alone." Within hours, the news spread across the globe. Governments scrambled, militaries went on high alert, and civilians oscillated between excitement and fear. The United Earth Defense Council convened an emergency session, led by Admiral Viktor Petrov, a grizzled veteran known for his strategic brilliance. "Ladies and gentlemen," Petrov addressed the assembly, his voice grave, "we face an unprecedented situation. Our options are limited, but our resolve must be unwavering. We prepare for peace, but ready ourselves for war." As the alien fleet entered the solar system, Earth held its breath. Would humanity face destruction or dawn of a new era? Surprisingly, the aliens initiated peaceful contact. Their leader, an entity calling itself Ambassador Zix, appeared on screens worldwide. Its form was vaguely humanoid, with iridescent skin and large, dark eyes that seemed to shimmer with intelligence. "People of Earth," Zix's melodious voice resonated, "we come seeking refuge. Our home world has been destroyed by a cosmic calamity. We ask for your help and offer our advanced technology in exchange." The offer was tempting. After intense debate, Earth's leaders decided to cautiously welcome the aliens. Landing zones were prepared, and humanity began to interact with their cosmic visitors. Dr. Chen was among the first scientists to work with the aliens. She marveled at their technology, particularly their energy systems that seemed to defy the laws of physics as she understood them. "This could revolutionize our world," she told Admiral Petrov during a briefing. "Clean energy, advanced medical tech. The possibilities are endless." Petrov nodded, but his eyes remained hard. "And their weapons, Doctor? What of those?" Chen hesitated. "They haven't shared much in that area. They claim to be a peaceful species." "A convenient claim," Petrov muttered. As weeks passed, the aliens integrated into human society. They shared some technology, mainly in agriculture and energy production. But there were inconsistencies that nagged at Chen. Why did they need so much land for their settlements? Why were certain areas off limits to humans? Late one night, as Chen worked late in her lab, she intercepted a transmission from the alien mothership. Her blood ran cold as she decrypted the message. Phase 1 complete. Human defenses mapped. Proceed with Phase 2, planetary subjugation. With shaking hands, Chen contacted Admiral Petrov. "Sir," she said, her voice quavering, "we've been deceived. The invasion is about to begin." Petrov's response was immediate. "I feared as much. Initiate Protocol Omega." And Dr. Chen, "God help us all." As alarms blared across the globe, humanity realized the true nature of their refugees. The alien ships that had been welcomed as harbingers of peace now loomed as instruments of destruction. Earth's leaders, once divided by old grudges, now faced a common enemy that threatened their very existence. In Washington, D.C., President Allison Harper addressed the world, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around her. "My fellow citizens of Earth, we stand at the precipice of our greatest challenge. We have been betrayed, but we are not defeated. Humanity has faced adversity before, and we have always emerged stronger. Today, we fight not just for our lives, but for our right to exist in this vast universe. Stand firm, stand together. We will not go quietly into the night." As the speech concluded, the first explosions lit up the sky. The alien invasion had begun, and humanity's fight for survival was underway. In labs, in military bases, and in homes across the planet, people prepared to face an enemy they had foolishly welcomed with open arms. Dr. Chen, working feverishly with her team, knew that Earth's fate might rest on their ability to understand and counter the alien technology. "We have to find a weakness," she muttered, poring over the data they had collected. There's always a weakness. As dawn broke on the first day of the war, humanity stood united, facing a threat beyond anything they had imagined. The deception was complete, but so was Earth's determination to survive. The real battle was just beginning. The invasion begins. The sky burned. Alien ships, once welcomed as beacons of hope, now rained destruction upon Earth's cities. The deception was complete, and humanity found itself fighting for survival against an enemy they had foolishly embraced. In New York, Lieutenant Sarah Hawkins crouched behind the twisted wreckage of a police cruiser, her squad scattered around her. The alien energy weapons had torn through their defenses like paper. "This is Sierra 7, she shouted into her comm. "We need air support now." But air support wasn't coming. The skies belonged to the invaders, their sleek craft dancing between Earth's jets with terrifying ease. Humanity's most advanced fighters were swatted from the sky like annoying insects. Across the globe, the story was the same. London, Tokyo, Moscow, Beijing, all under siege. The aliens struck with a coordination that spoke of long planning, targeting military installations, power grids, and communication hubs. In orbit, Admiral Petrov watched from the International Space Station, now serving as Earth's impromptu military headquarters. His weathered face was grim as reports flooded in from around the world. "Sir," a young officer approached, her face pale. "We've lost contact with the Pacific Fleet. The aliens have. They'd vaporized the entire Indian Ocean." Petrov's fists clenched. "They're not just invading," he growled. "They're terraforming, making Earth suit their needs." On the ground, humanity fought back with everything they had. In the streets of Paris, civilians joined soldiers, using whatever weapons they could find. The Eiffel Tower, standing for over 2 centuries, toppled in a blaze of alien fire. But the Parisians fought on, their spirit unbroken. In the depths of No Raid, President Harper convened with world leaders. The bunker, designed to withstand nuclear war, shook with each alien bombardment. "We need options," Harper demanded, her voice hoarse from hours of crisis management. The Chinese premier, his usually stoic face etched with worry, spoke up. "Our Gobi Desert facility. We've been working on something. A weapon that might give us a chance." Harper leaned forward. "What kind of weapon?" "One that turns their technology against them. But it's untested, and the risk." "The risk is losing everything," the Russian president interjected. "We must try." As leaders debated, soldiers died. In the ruins of Sydney, Captain James Cook, no relation to the explorer, led a ragtag group of survivors through the sewers. "Keep moving," he urged, helping an elderly woman over a fallen beam. "We'll reach the safe zone soon." A child's cry echoed through the tunnel. Cook spun, rifle raised, only to see a small boy pointing upwards. Through a grate, they saw an alien craft hovering, its underside glowing ominously. "Down!" Cook roared. The tunnel exploded in light and heat. As dust settled, Cook realized half his group was gone, vaporized in an instant. Grief threatened to overwhelm him, but the survivor's frightened eyes steeled his resolve. "We keep moving," he said, his voice thick. "We survive. We fight back." In her lab, now relocated to a bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Chen worked feverishly. Sleep was a distant memory as she and her team pored over alien technology salvaged from downed ships. "There's something here," she muttered, examining a peculiar energy signature. "Their weapons, their shields, it's all connected to this frequency." Her colleague, Dr. Yusuf Rahman, looked up from his own work. A weakness. Chen's eyes gleamed with the first hope she'd felt in days. "Maybe. If we can disrupt this frequency." An alarm blared. "Breach in Sector 7. A voice announced over the intercom. "All personnel evacuate." Chen grabbed a hard drive. "We can't lose this data. It might be our only chance." As they rushed from the lab, The ceiling caved in. Alien troops, grotesque in their battle armor, poured through the opening. Raman pushed Chen towards the exit. Go. I'll hold them off. Yusuf? No. But Raman was already turning, a makeshift flamethrower in hand. Save humanity, Samantha. It's been an honor. Tears streaming. Chen ran, Raman's last stand buying her precious seconds. She burst from the bunker into the cold mountain air, a military transport waiting. Dr. Chen. A soldier called. We have to go. As the transport lifted off, Chen watched the bunker collapse under alien fire. She clutched the hard drive to her chest, Raman's sacrifice weighing heavily. It won't be in vain, she promised. The transport raced through a gauntlet of alien fighters, anti-aircraft fire blazing around them. In the distance, Denver burned, its famous airport now a landing zone for the invaders. Aboard the space station, Admiral Petrov received Chen's transmission. A weakness, he mused, hope kindling. He turned to his staff. Get me every scientist we have left, and contact the Gobi Desert facility. It's time we show these bastards what humanity is made of. As the alien onslaught continued, as cities fell and millions perished, a spark of resistance flickered. In labs, in bunkers, in the hearts of every human, determination grew. The invasion had begun, but humanity was far from defeated. The counterattack was coming, and with it, the true test of human resilience and ingenuity. Earth, scared and bloodied, prepared to show the universe why you don't mess with humanity. Counterattack and innovation. The Gobi Desert facility, a sprawling complex hidden beneath the dunes, buzzed with frantic activity. Here, in this secret bastion of human resistance, hope was being forged in the crucible of desperation. Dr. Chen, her face gaunt from sleepless nights, stood before a gathered group of the world's brightest minds. Military personnel and scientists from every corner of the globe listened intently as she outlined her discovery. The alien technology operates on a quantum entanglement principle we've only theorized about, Chen explained, her voice hoarse but determined. Their weapons, shields, even their communication, it's all linked through this subspace frequency. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Admiral Petrov, who had made the perilous journey from the space station, leaned forward. And you believe we can disrupt this? Chen nodded. With the right equipment, yes. But more than that, we might be able to turn it against them. The Chinese quantum physicist, Dr. Lai Wei, stepped forward. We've been developing a device, the quantum flux inverter, originally designed for communication, but with Dr. Chen's discoveries, we can weaponize it. Petrov finished, a grim smile on his face. As the scientists worked tirelessly to modify the quantum flux inverter, humanity's remaining military forces prepared for what might be their last stand. In the ruins of Chicago, Colonel Maya Rodriguez led a guerrilla resistance that had been a thorn in the aliens' side for weeks. Her team moved through the shattered cityscape, planting improvised explosive devices in alien supply depots. Wraith to Phantom, Rodriguez whispered into her comm. Charges set. Time to light up the night. Across the city, explosions bloomed like deadly flowers. Alien craft scrambled, confusion evident in their erratic movements. For a moment, the invincible conquerors seemed vulnerable. Meanwhile, in the mountains of Switzerland, a different kind of resistance was taking shape. The CERN Super Collider, once dedicated to uncovering the secrets of the universe, was being repurposed. Dr. Hans Müller, a German particle physicist, worked alongside engineers to transform the massive machine into a weapon. If Chen's calculations are correct, Müller mused, his fingers flying over a holographic interface, we can use the collider to generate a pulse that will disrupt their quantum field on a continental scale. Back in the Gobi, the quantum flux inverter was ready for its first test. Chen, Lai, and a team of engineers gathered in a reinforced bunker. Outside, a captured alien scout ship sat in the crosshairs of their experimental weapon. Powering up. Lai announced, his hand hovering over the activation switch. 3, 2, 1. A pulse of energy, invisible to the naked eye, but registering on every sensor, lashed out. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like reality itself tearing, the alien ship simply folded in on itself, disappearing into a point of light. Cheers erupted in the bunker. Chen allowed herself a moment of elation before turning to Admiral Petrov. "It works. We can fight back." Petrov nodded, already on his comm. "This is Admiral Petrov. Initiate Operation Slingshot. I repeat, Operation Slingshot is a go." Across the globe, humanity's hidden arsenals stirred to life. In the Amazon rainforest, a massive dish antenna rose from the canopy. Beneath the ice of Antarctica, fusion reactors hummed to life. And in orbit, the remnants of Earth's satellite network realigned, forming a web of technological defiance. The counterattack began not with a bang, but with a whisper. Quantum pulses, precisely calibrated, radiated from strategic points around the planet. Alien ships, once invulnerable, suddenly found their systems failing. Shields flickered and died, weapons overloaded. In New Delhi, citizens watched in awe as a massive alien dreadnought, which had loomed over the city for weeks, suddenly plummeted from the sky. Its hull, stripped of its quantum protection, proved no match for the barrage of conventional weapons that followed. The tide of battle shifted. Human fighters, once hopelessly outmatched, now found themselves on equal footing. Captain Layla Hassan, leading a squadron of retrofitted F-35s, whooped with joy as her missiles found their mark. "That's for Cairo, you bastards." But the aliens were far from defeated. As their technological advantage waned, they resorted to brutal, direct assaults. The streets of Tokyo became a battleground of close-quarters combat, human soldiers facing off against alien shock troops with nothing but grit and determination. In Moscow's Red Square, a last stand worthy of legend unfolded. Russian tanks, their barrels still hot from constant firing, formed a defensive ring around thousands of civilians. The alien force that approached was massive, a sea of biomechanical horror. Colonel Alexei Volkov, standing atop his T-14 Armada, raised his saber. "For Earth," he roared, his voice carrying over the din of battle. "For humanity," his troops answered with a thunderous cry, charging forward to meet the alien horde. The battle that followed would be etched into history, a testament to human courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Street by street, building by building, the defenders of Moscow held their ground. As the conflict raged on Earth, a daring mission unfolded in space. A team of astronauts, led by the stoic Commander Joe Lin, approached the alien mothership in a retrofitted SpaceX vessel. Their goal, to plant a quantum flux inverter at the heart of the alien command structure. "Remember," Lin's voice crackled over the comm, "we may not make it back. But if we succeed, we give Earth a fighting chance." The space battle that ensued was like nothing humanity had ever experienced. Joe's team weaved through a maze of alien defenses, their ship's hulls screaming under the strain of maneuvers it was never designed for. Back on Earth, in the Gobi facility, Chen and her team watched the mission's progress with bated breath. "Come on," she whispered, her fingers unconsciously tracing the equations that had led to this moment. "Come on." A loud cheer erupted as Joe's voice came through, triumphant despite the static. "Package delivered. Inverter is online. Give him hell, Earth." The effect was immediate and devastating. The alien fleet, once a unified force of conquest, descended into chaos. Ships collided, weapons misfired, and in a spectacular display visible from the ground, the mothership itself began to break apart. Humanity, bloodied but unbowed, pressed its advantage. From the ashes of defeated cities, resistance fighters emerged. Military forces, bolstered by new quantum technology, launched coordinated strikes against alien strongholds. In the Oval Office, miraculously still standing, President Harper received the reports with growing hope. "We're pushing them back," she breathed, scarcely believing it. We're actually pushing them back. But even as victory seemed within grasp, a chilling message was intercepted from the remnants of the alien fleet. A final, desperate gambit was about to unfold, one that threatened to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. The war for Earth was entering its final, most dangerous phase. Humanity had proven its resilience, its ingenuity, and its courage. But would it be enough to secure not just victory, but survival? As the sun set on a world forever changed, Earth's defenders steeled themselves for the ultimate test. The counterattack had been launched. Innovation had turned the tide. But the final battle, the one that would determine the fate of humanity, was yet to come. The alien ultimatum. The intercepted alien transmission sent shockwaves through Earth's command centers. Admiral Petrov's face was ashen as he relayed the message to world leaders gathered in a secure bunker beneath the ruins of Geneva. "They're threatening to detonate their antimatter cores," Petrov said, his voice gravelly with fatigue. The resulting explosion would render Earth uninhabitable for millennia. President Harper's eyes narrowed. "It's a bluff. They wouldn't destroy a planet they came to conquer." "I'm afraid it's no bluff, Madam President," Dr. Chen interjected, her hologram flickering slightly. "Our analysis confirms they have the capability. They're giving us an ultimatum. Surrender within 24 hours, or they'll trigger the detonation." A heavy silence fell over the room. The German Chancellor, her usual composure cracking, spoke up. "After everything we've sacrificed, everything we've achieved, we can't give up now." "Agreed," the Indian Prime Minister nodded. "But how do we stop them?" All eyes turned to Dr. Chen. She took a deep breath before speaking. "We have a plan, but it's risky. We believe we can use the quantum flux inverter to create a containment field around their antimatter cores. But to do so, we'd need to get close. Very close." "How close?" Petrov asked, though his tone suggested he already knew the answer. "Aboard their command ship," Chen replied softly. The room erupted in a cacophony of voices, arguments flying back and forth. President Harper raised her hand, silencing the debate. "What are our chances of success?" Chen hesitated. "Honestly, less than 10%, but it's the only shot we have." Harper nodded, her decision made. "Then we take that shot. Assemble a team. Volunteers only." The call went out, and the response was overwhelming. From every corner of the globe, soldiers and scientists stepped forward, ready to risk everything for a chance to save their world. In the end, a team of 12 was chosen, led by Colonel Maya Rodriguez, whose guerrilla tactics had proven so effective in Chicago. The team was a mix of military specialists and scientific minds. As they prepared for the mission, humanity held its breath. In cities and refugee camps, in bunkers and resistance hideouts, people gathered around whatever communication devices they could find, waiting for news. The team's ship, a hybrid of human and reverse-engineered alien technology, lifted off from the Gobi facility under the cover of darkness. As they ascended through the atmosphere, the devastation wrought by the war became painfully clear. Continents bore scars visible from space. Oceans were discolored from alien terraforming attempts. "My God," whispered Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the team's xenobiologist, "what have they done to our home?" Rodriguez's voice was steel. "That's why we're here. To take it back." As they approached the alien command ship, a massive structure that dwarfed anything humanity had ever built in space, tension aboard the vessel reached a fever pitch. Dr. Chen's voice came through their comms, a lifeline from Earth. "Remember, the quantum flux inverter has been miniaturized, but it's still bulky. You'll need to reach the ship's core to plant it effectively." "Understood," Rodriguez replied. "We're beginning our approach." What followed was a masterclass in human ingenuity and courage. Using the chaos still reigning in the alien fleet, the team's ship slipped through gaps in the defense network. Precision piloting by Flight Lieutenant Zora Malik brought them into a blind spot on the command ship's hull. "This is it," Rodriguez announced. "Suit up. We go in hot. The team split into 3 groups. Rodriguez led the main assault team, tasked with fighting their way to the ship's core. Dr. Tanaka headed the scientific team, responsible for setting up the inverter. The third team, led by tech specialist Sergeant Y. Chen, no relation to Dr. Samantha Chen, would attempt to hack the alien systems and buy them time. The moment they breached the hull, all hell broke loose. Alien defenders swarmed towards the intrusion point, only to be met with a level of ferocity they hadn't expected. Rodriguez's team moved like a well-oiled machine, human determination proving a match for alien technology. "We're in their systems," Sergeant Chen reported, his fingers flying over a holographic interface, initiating ship-wide disruptions. Now, throughout the massive vessel, systems began to fail. Gravity fluctuated wildly, lights flickered, and security protocols went haywire. In the confusion, Rodriguez's team pressed forward. But the aliens were far from helpless. As the humans fought their way deeper into the ship, they faced increasingly desperate resistance. Casualties mounted on both sides. "We've reached the central chamber," Rodriguez reported, her voice tight with pain from a wound in her side. "But the core it's not what we expected." Dr. Tanaka's voice was filled with awe. "It's beautiful and terrifying. The antimatter containment field, it's like nothing we've ever seen." "Can you do it?" Rodriguez demanded. "Can you set up the inverter?" There was a pause that felt like an eternity. "Yes," Tanaka finally replied. "But someone will need to manually activate it. The radiation, it's a one-way trip." The implication hung heavy in the air. Whoever activated the inverter wouldn't be coming home. Before Rodriguez could respond, a massive explosion rocked the ship. Sergeant Chen's voice came through, panicked. "They're onto us. They're initiating the core detonation sequence." "How long?" Rodriguez barked. 3 minutes. Rodriguez made a decision. "Tanaka, get that inverter set up. I'll activate it." "Colonel, no. That's an order. The rest of you, get back to the ship." "That's not a request." As the team reluctantly retreated, Rodriguez helped Tanaka set up the device. Alarms blared throughout the ship, the countdown to Earth's destruction ticking away. With seconds to spare, Tanaka finished the setup. She looked at Rodriguez, tears in her eyes. "It's been an honor, Colonel." Rodriguez managed a smile. "Give him hell for me, Doc. Now go." As Tanaka rushed to join the retreating team, Rodriguez turned to the inverter. Earth hung in the viewport before her, beautiful and fragile. "For humanity," she whispered, and pressed the activation switch. A pulse of energy unlike anything ever seen before erupted from the device. It enveloped the antimatter core, containing the imminent explosion. The alien ship shuddered, systems overloading. From Earth, millions watched as the massive command ship seemed to implode, collapsing in on itself in a dazzling display of light and energy. In the Geneva bunker, tense silence gave way to cautious hope. "Did we do it?" someone whispered. Dr. Chen, her eyes glued to the sensor readings, nodded slowly. "The antimatter reaction. It's contained. They did it. They actually did it." As the realization of what had been achieved sank in, cheers erupted. Humanity had faced its darkest hour and emerged victorious. The alien threat was neutralized. Earth was saved. But the celebration was tempered by the cost. As the surviving members of the mission team were retrieved, the absence of Colonel Rodriguez weighed heavily on everyone's hearts. President Harper addressed the world, her voice filled with emotion. "Today we have witnessed the very best of humanity. In our darkest hour, we did not falter. We did not surrender. We stood together and we prevailed." As dawn broke on a new day, Earth began the long process of recovery. The war had left scars that would take generations to heal, but humanity faced the future with renewed strength and unity. The stars, once a source of terror, now beckoned with possibility. Humanity had proven itself on a galactic stage. The question now was, what would they do with this hard-won victory? Humanity triumphant. The dawn of a new era broke over Earth, a planet scared but unbroken. The alien threat had been vanquished, but the cost had been immense. Cities lay in ruins, continents bore the marks of battle, and millions had perished. Yet, in the face of near extinction, humanity had not only survived but triumphed. In the months following the decisive battle, Earth buzzed with activity. The same ingenuity and determination that had won the war was now turned towards rebuilding and advancing. The quantum flux technology, once a desperate weapon, became the cornerstone of a new technological revolution. Dr. Samantha Chen, now hailed as one of humanity's greatest heroes, stood before the newly formed United Earth Council. The alien invasion, she began, her voice echoing through the makeshift chamber in the ruins of the UN building, was our trial by fire. We've emerged stronger, more united, and with a wealth of knowledge that will propel us into a new age. She gestured to a holographic display, showcasing advancements that seemed like science fiction mere months ago. Quantum communication networks, gravity manipulation, energy generation beyond our wildest dreams. All of this is now within our grasp. Admiral Petrov, his uniform adorned with new medals, nodded in agreement. And let's not forget our defensive capabilities. We're implementing a planetary shield grid based on the inverter technology. Earth will never again be caught unprepared. President Harper, re-elected in a landslide, as the leader who saw humanity through its darkest hour, raised a hand. This is all impressive, but we must not lose sight of our most valuable asset, the human spirit. Our victory wasn't just about technology. It was about courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering will to survive. A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembly. The heroism displayed during the war had become legendary. Stories of resistance fighters, brilliant scientists, and ordinary citizens rising to extraordinary challenges were already being woven into a new mythology. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, one of the few survivors of the mission to the alien mothership, stepped forward. We've also made significant progress in understanding the aliens themselves, their biology, their technology. It's opening up new frontiers in science. But more importantly, we're beginning to understand their motives. The room fell silent, all eyes on Tanaka. They were desperate, she continued. Their own world was dying. They saw Earth as their last hope for survival. It doesn't justify their actions, but it reminds us of the preciousness of our planet, and the lengths beings will go to preserve their species. This revelation sparked intense debate. Some called for preparations to meet other alien species, this time with open arms rather than weapons. Others advocated for a more cautious approach, expanding human presence in the solar system as a buffer against future threats. In the end, a middle path was chosen. Earth would reach out to the stars, but from a position of strength and unity. The United Earth Space Agency was formed, tasking with exploring and potentially colonizing the solar system. 5 years after the war's end, humanity celebrated a monumental achievement. The first human settlement on Mars was established, aptly named Phoenix Base. As the Red Planet's first colonists set foot on alien soil, they carried with them the lessons and scars of Earth's great trial. Colonel Maya Rodriguez, posthumously awarded the highest honors of every nation on Earth, became a symbol of human courage and sacrifice. Schools, starships, and cities bore her name. Her final words, "For humanity," became a rallying cry for a species now looking to the stars with hope rather than fear. But it wasn't just in grand gestures that humanity's triumph was evident. In the restored parks of Tokyo, children played without fear of the sky. In the rebuilt streets of Cairo, merchants haggled good-naturedly over goods from every corner of the globe. And in laboratories and universities worldwide, a new generation of scientists and explorers prepared to push the boundaries of human knowledge. 10 years to the day after the alien ultimatum, Earth hosted an event unprecedented in human history. Representatives from every nation gathered in the newly constructed Unity Plaza in Geneva to unveil a monument to those lost in the war. At the center stood a statue of a diverse group of humans, standing united, their faces turned upwards to the stars. As the monument was unveiled, a message was broadcast across the planet and beamed into space, a declaration to the cosmos. We are humanity. We have faced extinction and emerged stronger. We have seen the face of the unknown and did not blink. We are not conquerors, but neither are we easy prey. To those who travel the stars, we extend a hand in friendship, but stand ready to defend our home. We are the children of Earth, and we have only just begun. As the message echoed across the airwaves, something remarkable happened. In orbit, the advanced sensors of the new Earth Defense Network detected an anomaly. A signal, faint but unmistakable, was received from deep space. Dr. Chen, now director of the Global Science Initiative, worked tirelessly with her team to decode it. When she finally succeeded, tears streamed down her face as she read the message aloud to the United Earth Council. To the people of Earth, we have witnessed your stand against the Harvester Armada. Your courage is noted, your potential recognized. Rest, recover, grow strong. When you are ready, we will be waiting. You are not alone in this vast universe, and you have earned your place among the stars. The message sent shockwaves through human society. Debates raged, theories proliferated, but one thing was clear. Humanity's great trial had been more than a fight for survival. It had been an audition on a cosmic stage, and they had passed with flying colors. As Earth looked to the future, the stars no longer seemed like a vast, empty void filled with potential threats. Instead, they beckoned with the promise of new friendships, new challenges, and new frontiers to explore. Humanity had not just survived. They had proven themselves worthy of the cosmos. The invasion that had nearly wiped them out had instead propelled them into a new era of exploration, innovation, and cosmic citizenship. As ships bearing the United Earth insignia began to probe deeper into the solar system, as quantum technologies revolutionized life on Earth, and as a new generation grew up looking at the stars with wonder rather than fear, one thing became clear. The greatest chapter in human history wasn't ending. It was just beginning.